assurance that products, systems and services are safe and reliable. Today we enter a new era. Commencing operation on January 1st, 2026, IAF and ILAC have evolved into a single unified voice. The Global Accreditation Cooperation Incorporated, Global ACI. Accreditation doesn't just look at how things work today, it looks at how they impact tomorrow driving sustainability. Accreditation ensures green claims are verified and that the products we use are safe for the planet. It's how we build a world that lasts. For regulators, it means a simpler path to safety. For businesses, it means one door to the global market. And for the public, it means trust and peace of mind. Whether it's a medical test or a structural safety report, Global ACI is the invisible thread connecting quality and confidence to your daily life. Celebrate World Accreditation Day and discover how Global ACI is shaping a safer, more sustainable future for everyone, everywhere. Global ACI, global trust for a better world. Our world is moving faster than ever. From the energy that powers our homes to the technology in our pockets, innovation is the heartbeat of progress. But for innovation to truly change lives, it needs a foundation. It needs trust. Accreditation provides independent assurance that products, systems and services are safe and reliable. Today we enter a new era. Commencing operation on January 1st, 2026, IAF and ILAC have evolved into a single unified voice. The Global Accreditation Cooperation Incorporated, Global ACI. Accreditation doesn't just look at how things work today, it looks at how they impact tomorrow driving sustainability. Accreditation ensures green claims are verified and that the products we use are safe for the planet. It's how we build a world that lasts. For regulators, it means a simpler path to safety. For businesses, it means one door to the global market. And for the public, it means trust and peace of mind. Whether it's a medical test or a structural safety report, Global ACI is the invisible thread connecting quality and confidence to your daily life. Celebrate World Accreditation Day and discover how Global ACI is shaping a safer, more sustainable future for everyone, everywhere. Global ACI, global trust for a better world. Our world is moving faster than ever. From the energy that powers our homes to the technology in our pockets, innovation is the heartbeat of progress. But for innovation to truly change lives, it needs a foundation. It needs trust. Accreditation provides independent assurance that products, systems and services are safe and reliable. Today we enter a new era. Commencing operation on January 1st, 2026, IAF and ILAC have evolved into a single unified voice. The Global Accreditation Cooperation Incorporated, Global ACI. Accreditation doesn't just look at how things work today, it looks at how they impact tomorrow driving sustainability. Accreditation ensures green claims are verified and that the products we use are safe for the planet. It's how we build a world that lasts. For regulators, it means a simpler path to safety. For businesses, it means one door to the global market. And for the public, it means trust and peace of mind. Whether it's a medical test or a structural safety report, Global ACI is the invisible thread connecting quality and confidence to your daily life. Celebrate World Accreditation Day and discover how Global ACI is shaping a safer, more sustainable future for everyone, everywhere. Global ACI, global trust for a better world. Our world is moving faster than ever. From the energy that powers our homes to the technology in our pockets, innovation is the heartbeat of progress. But for innovation to truly change lives, it needs a foundation. It needs trust. Accreditation provides independent assurance that products, systems, and services are safe and reliable. Today, we enter a new era. Commencing operation on January 1st, 2026, IAF and ILAC have evolved into a single unified voice. The Global Accreditation Cooperation Incorporated, Global ACI. Accreditation doesn't just look at how things work today, it looks at how they impact tomorrow driving sustainability. Accreditation ensures green claims are verified and that the products we use are safe for the planet. It's how we build a world that lasts. For regulators, it means a simpler path to safety. For businesses, it means one door to the global market. And for the public, it means trust and peace of mind. Whether it's a medical test or a structural safety report, Global ACI is the invisible thread connecting quality and confidence to your daily life. Celebrate World Accreditation Day and discover how Global ACI is shaping a safer, more sustainable future for everyone, everywhere. Global ACI, global trust for a better world. Our world is moving faster than ever. From the energy that powers our homes to the technology in our pockets, innovation is the heartbeat of progress. But for innovation to truly change lives, it needs a foundation. It needs trust. Accreditation provides independent assurance that products, systems, and services are safe and reliable.
So you just tell, we will start. Secretary
Very
Sir,
good
join.
morning. Very good morning to everyone. We'll be just starting in a while.
Okay. Who is this? Sir, can we start? Secretary Sir, are we audible? Can we start? You are on mute, sir. Sir, you are on mute.
Yeah.
Okay, you are audible. Still not audible, sir.
Am I audible now?
I'm just asking Secretary Sir whether he can hear us.
दोबारा ज्वाइन कर लेगा। मोहन भाई ઉપર હસમુખભાઈ આયેલા છે ખબર છે કઈ ઓકે વાંધો નહીં. ચલો હું પૂછી લઉં
પેલી એપ્લિકેશન તો સબમિટ થઈ ગઈ એક્રિડેશનમાં SSL
હા થઈ ગઈ સરસ
એ થઈ ગઈ
ચલો ભાઈ
He is telling he has unmuted. Okay, you start now. Just give a vote.
एक मिनट मैं उधर बैठता हूँ
Okay. We will start, sir. Good morning, everybody. We will start with a short video. Post that we will start the session. Video, please.
Good morning, all of you.
This World Accreditation Day, we celebrate the vital role accreditation plays in enabling innovation, building trust, and supporting a more sustainable future. Accreditation is the independent evaluation of organizations like laboratories, inspection bodies, certification bodies, and other conformity assessment bodies, confirming their competence, impartiality, and reliability. That means governments, businesses, and consumers can have confidence in the certificates, reports, and statements they rely on. As technology evolves and sustainability expectations grow, progress needs proof. Accreditation helps ensure new solutions are reliable and that claims can be trusted and compared. This World Accreditation Day, we recognize the people and organizations who make the confidence possible. This World Accreditation Day, we recognize what makes trust possible. Accreditation is the independent assessment confirming that laboratories, inspection bodies, certification bodies, and other conformity assessment bodies are competent and impartial. This year's theme, Innovation, Trust, and Sustainability, reminds us that confidence matters more than ever. Accreditation supports innovation by providing a reliable framework, and it supports sustainability by strengthening accountability and credibility. Thank you to everyone who helps make trusted results possible every day.
A very good morning to Secretary DPIIT, all the distinguished speakers and guests. I welcome you all to World Accreditation Day 2026. I'm Amity Saxena, Deputy Director, NABL QCI. I'll be moderating today's webinar, and I'm delighted to guide you through the program. To formally commence today's webinar, it gives me great pleasure to invite CEO NABL, Dr. Ramanand N. Shukla, to deliver welcome address. Dr. Shukla, ladies and gentlemen, is an accomplished professional with over 2 decades of leadership experience in business excellence, quality, food safety, environment, occupational health and safety, and training, with an expertise in developing assessment frameworks and conducting transformational assessments for various industry sectors, including defense. Dr. Shukla is a certified examiner for quality management, IMC Ramakrishna Bajaj National Quality Awards, and senior assessor for CII Award for food safety. He holds a doctorate in environment management and MBA in marketing. Having trained over 300 plus professionals on quality, business excellence, Z, food safety, auditing, and assessment, he has a keen interest in policy, program implementation, and impact evaluation, and is a trained auditor for many of the management and food safety management courses. He is a certified Six Sigma Black Belt. May I request you, sir, to deliver the welcome address?
Yeah, thank you, Iti. A very good morning to respected DPIT Secretary, SG, Mr. Kannan Chakravarti, our Chief Advisor, QCI, Ms. Hema Bhandari, Chairperson NABL, Dr. Sandeep Shah, and Chairperson NABCB, Dr. RP Singh. And all the distinguished guests, respected colleagues from the industry, labs, certification and inspection bodies, all the family members of Quality Council of India, all our assessors and friends, a very good morning and very warm welcome to all of you. It's indeed a pleasure for me to welcome all of you to this special webinar on the occasion of World Accreditation Day to celebrate and commemorate this particular day. Every year, this occasion reminds us of something that often goes unnoticed, yet quietly supports almost every aspect of our daily lives. And this invisible force is trust. And if we have to talk about trust or think about it, so let's think for a moment. Every morning, we trust that the medicine prescribed by the doctor has been tested correctly. We trust that the blood reports that we receive, they reflect our actual health condition, or even whatever we consume, whether it is water, food, the air that we breathe. So everything we actually look forward to be confident that these are tested, and these are providing reliable source of our confidence. And that is where this trust has to come specifically in everyone's mind and behavior. But trust is not created by chance. Trust is built through evidence. It is built through competence. And trust grows when an independent system verifies that everything is being done correctly. And that, in essence, is what accreditation is all about. And the theme for this year's World Accreditation Day, trust, innovation, and sustainability, could not have been more relevant. And interestingly, the idea of building trust through independent verification is not new to India. More than 2000 years ago, during Mauryan Empire, Kautilya's Arthashastra laid down elaborate systems for inspection of weights and measures, auditing of warehouses, and supervision of trade. The Superintendent of Commerce and Superintendent of Weights and Measures were entrusted with ensuring that merchants followed uniform standards. So that was 2000 years ago in our country. And why this was necessary? Because a market cannot flourish if buyers and sellers do not trust each other. And similarly, our ancient ports like Lothal and later the great trading centers of Surat and Machilipatnam, they became hubs of international commerce because traders from distant lands had confidence that transactions would be fair and goods would meet expected quality. In many ways, what accreditation does today is a modern and globally harmonized version of that same timeless principle that we have been following through ages. And we create confidence that a laboratory is technically competent. We create confidence that an inspection body is impartial. We create confidence that a certification body follows international accepted practices. And because that confidence is built on internationally recognized standards, an accredited report issued in India can be accepted across the world. And in today's interconnected economy, this trust becomes even more important because innovation is moving at an extraordinary pace. But it is not just innovation that is enough. So whatever innovation is happening today, we need to trust that. So for example, when we say that a new diagnostic technology enters the market, patients rarely ask how the instrument works. They only ask one question: can we trust the results? And that is where accreditation provides that kind of assurance and confidence. So that is how accreditation globally plays a very, very important and vital role. So in many ways, that's why whether it is testing water quality, monitoring air pollution, certifying green buildings, validating renewable energy systems, food safety, healthcare, anything that we talk about, accreditation is everywhere and acts as the quality infrastructure that supports sustainable development for any nation. And while we are moving towards the target of vision of Viksit Bharat, accreditation is going to play much more vital role as it has been playing. So friends, NABL's journey has always been about strengthening this infrastructure of trust. And as part of Quality Council of India, NABCB and NABL have been playing this role for a very long time, and we have been building the trust that is required to be built in the India's economy. And when we talk about accreditation, it is not work of one organization alone. It is a collective effort involving labs, certification bodies, inspection bodies, multiple assessors and technical experts, the regulators who have been with us, and the industry associations and policy makers. So basically, each assessment which is conducted with integrity, each calibration which is performed accurately, each certificate issued responsibly contributes to strengthening confidence in India's quality ecosystem. So I would also like to acknowledge the continued support of our nodal agency, DPIIT, all the regulators who have been with us, who have been relying on NABL, NABCB, and Quality Council of India for quality assurance and accreditation mechanisms. And I thank every one of the stakeholders. And as we celebrate World Accreditation Day today, let us remember that trust is not built through declarations. It is built through consistent actions, competent people, and transparent systems, which Quality Council of India ensures that we are following these principles. So innovation gives us possibilities, sustainability gives us shared purpose, but accreditation provides the trust that connects these two, innovation and sustainability. I'm confident that today's deliberations will inspire us to further strengthen this culture of quality and confidence, enabling India to emerge not only as a global manufacturing and innovation hub, but also as a nation known for reliability and excellence. I thank each one of you for joining us and wish you a very engaging and fruitful webinar. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks a lot for your insightful welcome address and highlighting the theme of today's webinar. To frame today's discussion and provide the necessary context, I am privileged to invite Shri Chakravarti T. Kannan, Secretary General, Quality Council of India. Dr. Shri Kannan brings extensive leadership experience across the automotive, mobility, logistics, and technology sectors. Formerly CEO Mobility at Mahindra Logistics, he has successfully transformed complex B2B and B2C operations to profitability. He has led major initiatives including digital product development, quality crusades, and guaranteed $1 billion global business setup. A founder of Catapult, an industry-first technology incubator, he drove innovation recognized by global leaders such as Shell and Intel. A former business head and senior VP at Mahindra & Mahindra, he holds an MBA in corporate strategy from Ross School of Business and a background in industrial engineering. May I request you, sir, to address the audience?
Thank you. Warm welcome to Honorable Secretary DPIIT, Sri Bhatia Sir, NABL Chairman, Dr. Sandeep Shah, NABCB Chairman, Dr. Ravi, my colleagues from CAB, CBs and IB community, my fellow colleagues, Dr. Venkat, Dr. Ram, Advisor Hema, and other dignitaries present in this meeting. On behalf of Quality Council of India, I welcome all of you for the World Accreditation Day 2026. Over years, ILAC and IAF are establishing the trust framework globally. In India, QCI boards, NABL and NABCB, has been setting the accreditation framework. Like Dr. Ram mentioned, today most of us are confident about buying any item. It is thanks to the strong quality and accreditation framework. As we march towards Vikshit Bharat 2047, India's one of the aspiration is how to become an export powerhouse in manufacturing. To deliver this, our products has to be trustworthy, our process and systems has to be trustworthy to deliver the product in a consistent standard. Accreditation ecosystem from where we are today, what we need to move to ensure a successful Vikshit Bharat has lot of work to do. The theme, innovation, sustainability, and trust, is a fantastic theme, what has been chosen by the committee. Innovation ensures we have a better future, whereas sustainability ensures whether we have a future at all. Linking these two is the trust. The trust binds sustainability and innovation. Speaking about innovation, we are in a very dynamic era driven by AI, quantum computing, biotechnology, and digital transformation. How can accreditation framework accelerate innovation? How can we standardize deep tech, validate whether it is a cloud network or a drone network? How can we provide safety without stifling creativity? So this is one of the tasks what we will take. How accreditation framework from India can lead the nation in not only nation, globally, how can we set standard to drive innovation? The second theme is about sustainability. Gen Z doesn't look for price or quality. They look for sustainability. Young customers will demand more sustainable product, process, and policies. We should not fall victim for greenwashing, whether it is verifying the carbon credit, offset credit, or validating renewable components, or auditing circular economy. The framework, our accreditation sustainability framework, has to provide the teeth so that we are able to accelerate in this area. Towards this, some initiatives both the boards have started to make accreditation framework accessible and affordable. Several Gunvarta Chakra activities have been in place by both NABCB and NABL. Close to 200 plus Gunvarta Yatras, where we have reached close to 460 pin codes. Multiple Pathshala courses so that people understand what is the ISO framework, how to build a quality-based roles. We are also doing multiple months so that we work with the stakeholders towards ease of doing business. Other notable thing what we are doing under the leadership of Sri Bhatia sir is National Quality Conclave, where we are reaching out to 26 clusters. We need to reach more and more network. The third pillar is about trust. Trust can, in the era of digital, how can we deliver a digital ecosystem which delivers trust at your cell phone, at your website? You don't need to seek information. Trust will be delivered to you. Towards this, we are building several modular technology-based platforms, which will be API-able, which will have AI and all the intelligent system embedded in. With this, I would like to close. I welcome all the participants. We welcome all the ideas. This is just the starting of the World Accreditation Day. We will have multiple interactions with each one of you as stakeholders towards what does the Indian accreditation framework has to do in innovation, sustainability, and trust. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for setting the direction for today's deliberations. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the pleasure to have with us Shri Amardeep Singh Bhatia, Secretary, Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. Shri Bhatia has assumed office in August 2024 after serving as Additional Secretary, Department of Commerce. He is a 1993 batch IAS officer of the Nagaland cadre. He holds a degree in electronics engineering and a postgraduate in international development policy. He has held key leadership positions in the Ministries of Corporate Affairs, Health and Family Welfare, and as Director SFIO, leading reforms in corporate governance, insolvency, bankruptcy, fraud investigations, public health, and governance. He has also served in senior state level roles, including Principal Secretary to the Chief Minister and Development Commissioner, overseeing diverse sectors such as planning, health, agriculture, environment, local governance, and home affairs. May I now request you, sir, to deliver the keynote address. But yes, sir, I request you for the keynote address. I really thank the audience for the reactions.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead, sir.
There is a slight bit of technical here with this indirect form of communication.
Sir, go ahead, sir. You are connected to speaker.
Good morning, everyone. There's going to be an echo, I think, on account of this. I'll keep.
He's not audible.
Talked about the scientific laboratory. Each requires products to be tested. Testing is done through the NABL. The demand which is created through the QCO for testing is met through the accredited portal. We are also focusing in the new infrastructure which is coming up in the form of industrial parks or in the upgradation of industrial clusters which is happening across the country. That testing laboratories becomes a core component of the infrastructure which is provided in these parks and clusters. These testing laboratories, again, we have to be accredited in a BCD. Which have been rolled out, 4 sectors. We are planning to roll out in other sectors also. During this rollout, there are two areas again which were pointed out by stakeholders. One was the lack of knowledge of standards. There are multitude of standards which are there. Standards not only which govern domestic market, but also standards which are required to be followed for different export markets. This is an area which QCI is focusing on, is compiling the various standards and increasing awareness among our manufacturers. And the second is the testing lab, on which I refer to. The part on infrastructure development. Exports, as again pointed out by one of the speakers, is the cornerstone is trust. Cross-border trade depends on trust, and accreditation plays a key role in ensuring that this trust is not broken. We have been focusing on exports, the driver for our growth. Our exports of goods and services have crossed $860 billion in 2025-26, and we are expecting to reach $1 trillion coming year or two. This increasing exports require that our products are of acceptable quality in the export market, meeting the standards requirements of the export market. This is also extremely important on account of the various FTAs that we have entered in, which provide enabling clauses for mutual recognition agreements to be entered, including in testing areas. It is I think the VC got disconnected.
We can hear you, sir. Yeah, maybe you have to reconnect, sir.
Yeah, or maybe I'll just speak.
Yeah, sir. Yeah, go ahead, sir.
So as we access these new markets where we have entered through FTAs, as they open up, it is extremely important for our manufacturers to meet the quality requirements of these markets. It's extremely important if they have to grow that they produce as per the standards of these requirements. It is extremely important, therefore, that our laboratories, which are accredited by us, are able to accredit the products as per their standards to ensure that the trust is there in these new markets, which will allow these products to grow, products to be sold in these markets. The trust is not only required for entry into the market, but also for the consumers to start buying these products. It is also important that through this accreditation, we are able to build brands for our products. Once the quality is trusted, once the accreditation is trusted in the new markets globally, our brand will also start growing. Brands is another area where Quality Council of India is working very closely with DPIT as well as Department of Commerce. Through quality, brands will be built, and these brands will again help in expanding the market for our products. This brand building will also help in ensuring that the overall brand of India also is built, because through these individual products, when these individual products, through their quality, through their good quality, they reach out to the consumer. The consumer then recognizing these brands with India, the brand of India as a manufacturer of quality products will also be built. Therefore, if we have to look at in totality, it is a very key component of our entire game plan for ensuring that quality, to ensure that manufacturing grows, to ensure that we move towards the goal of Viksit Bharat. It is extremely important, therefore, that quality remains a focus within our manufacturing ecosystem. And in order for this focus to remain, the entire accreditation difficulty behind working behind these manufacturers, working to support these manufacturers, puts it the entire way to ensure that there is no failure in the manner in which we test our products, in the manner in which we accredit the quality of our product, so that our consumers, not only in India, but also abroad, are able to consume the products without doubting in any way the brand for which these products stand for. I'm very sure that in the days to come and in the years to come, our quality ecosystem, our accreditation ecosystem will strengthen further, and the investments which are being made into the ecosystem will be not just as investments to return, but also investments, strategic investments to open up market access, to ensure that we are part of a credible supply chain, and to improve the reputation of India as a manufacturing nation. I would request the entire fraternity as well as the Quality Council of India to work with renewed vigor, ensure that we are able to meet the requirement of quality so meeting the goals of this department. Thank you very much, and once again, congratulations on this World Accreditation Day. I apologize for this bad connection because of which the delivery also has been affected a little bit. I hope you have very good deliberations throughout the day and are able to take this quality movement forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you for taking your time, sir. We appreciate your time, sir. We'll take your guidance and no problem. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks for the visionary address, and really appreciate, kindly excuse us for the glitch, and really appreciate sir for his cooperation. So with this, I would like to sincerely thank all the esteemed dignitaries for inaugurating the World Accreditation Day 2026 and for sharing their valuable insights and vision for the way forward. Building on the perspectives shared so far, we will now move to the first session of today's webinar on Made in India, accreditation and as the export competitiveness backbone. To provide an overview and set the stage for today's discussion, I would like to invite Dr. R.P. Singh, Chairperson, NABCB. Dr. Singh is a Provost Vice Chancellor of Adani University, where he leads initiatives in green energy, green infrastructure, cybersecurity, and sustainability. He previously served as SG Quality Council of India for the tenure 2014 to 2023, so spearheading India's national quality movement through its constituent boards and strategic projects. Over a distinguished career spanning academia, governance, and quality assurance, he has held leadership positions at AICTE, PTU, IGNOU, and as founding Vice Chancellor of Sharda University. A former BIS Governing Council member, he has represented India at several international forums and holds a PhD and postdoc fellowship in physics from Western University. May I request you, sir, for setting the tone of the webinar, please.
Thank you, Iti. Let me make a correction first that I am no longer with the Adani University and I am back to Delhi. It's a very proud moment for all of us that we are celebrating the World Accreditation Day today. And I see that more than 1,000 people have joined online. So congratulations to Kannan as well as our two stalwarts sitting left and right to him, Venkat and Ramanand Shukla. It's a proud privilege for all of us, primarily because this World Accreditation Day is a different World Accreditation Day in many senses. One is that it is being celebrated under a new banner, which is the Global Accreditation Cooperation Incorporated, which is an amalgamation of IAF and IDA. And therefore, this new entity is driving this particular World Accreditation. The other thing is that beyond being a new organization, this celebration is underlying the same thing, which is the power of accreditation in areas of innovation, trust and sustainability. And therefore, what I see is that we have sustained with the idea that accreditation is and will play a very strong role in defining the future of quality and also trade. Since I have been given this responsibility to contextualize the Made in India brand, there are a few things that I would like to once again reiterate, because some of these have been actually spoken by the Secretary Sir as well. You all know that India is aspiring to become an export-led economy rather than an import-dependent economy. We all know that over the past decade, significant strides have been taken towards this particular direction. Global trade data tells us that whereas the global exports grew at only about 2.5%, India has been consistently growing at 7% or above annually. The share of exports in the Indian GDP is more than 20% today, and the gross value is somewhere around $860 billion, as Secretary Sir said, and our target is $1 trillion in the next 2 or 3 years. We also see that whereas India was dependent on low-end raw material to manufacture our products, but fortunately today we have moved to high-end engineered products in many areas, such as technology, electronics, pharmaceutical, food, defense production, aeronautics, and high-end services. You all know that there are more than 1200 GCCs in India currently operating. And that is the kind of high-end services that India provides to the rest of the world. While India is on a steady growth path, not every nation, and I am underlining this, not every nation is celebrating our growth story. And that is most important. We still see that the NTBs, which are known as non-tariff barriers, constantly remain a challenge in multilateral trade. We must not be oblivious of this challenge in the changing dynamics of geopolitics around us. To prepare ourselves to face the challenges of the future, the Indian industry needs to be aware of the importing countries' requirement for product specifications and align as per international standards. Sooner rather than later, and I am saying it with lot of responsibility, that sooner rather than later, India as a country will demand its industry to step up their processes and product quality to substantially increase our footprint in the global market. And therefore, they will have to change their processes in order to align to the international standards. The Made in India brand is a logical extension of that aspiration. It must include accredited certification, testing, and a value proposition that defines the Indian brand acceptance across the world. The Quality Council of India, through its boards, NABCB and NABL, have created a sustained ecosystem of quality. It is high time that we see and we engage ourselves in every FTA that is signed by the Department of Commerce with countries which are coming to us for bilateral trade agreements, and the national accreditation bodies like NABCB, NABL should be an integral part of that FTA. Only then will we be able to say that the national accreditation bodies have been given due recognition in the export-led trade that India is aspiring for. I am happy to see that in this particular panel there is a JS in DPIT, Dr. Kajal, who is an exceptional medical professional with international experience, and I am sure that she will say a lot of things about the governance structure of the MII, the Made in India brand, and also the EODP. The presence of the senior decision makers of the industry, especially in the steel sector, which has been one of the early entrants of Made in India brand and its early implementation on steel products, is here, and they have been constantly monitoring the nuances of the export requirements and their evolving dynamics due to geopolitical considerations. I'm also happy that we have the TIC Council representative, the Testing Inspection Certification Council's representation through SEMA, which is going to be a very important lighthouse that will steer the Indian export ship towards its destination. I welcome your presence in this discussion as well. I am thanking each and every one of you who have taken your time out to be a part of this very important celebration for all the boards of QCI as well as the Quality Council of India itself. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks for your visions and for insightful message. I would like to inform that Dr. Kajal, Joint Secretary DPIIT, she is not able to join us because of some last-minute professional engagement coming up. She has conveyed her best wishes to all of us on World Accreditation Day. Moving ahead, with your permission, we'd like to share a video emphasizing on accredited in Bharat, trusted by the world. Can we have the video, please?
Every dream that takes shape, every product that carries India's name, every service that touches a life, begins with one simple expectation. Trust. Trust that what is made is safe. Trust that what is measured is accurate. Trust that what is promised is delivered. But trust does not happen by chance. It is built, verified, strengthened through accreditation. Behind every reliable test report, behind every quality assured process, behind every product ready for the world, there is an invisible mark of confidence, a mark that tells India and the world that quality has been independently assured. The vision of Viksit Bharat is not merely to participate in the future, it is to help shape it, to create products the world depends on, products the world believes in, and standards the world respects. Because in the era of globalization, nations compete on many things, but they are remembered for one: trust. That trust begins with quality, and quality earns its credibility through accreditation. Because wherever Made in India travels, trust, built through accreditation, travels with it. Because when India is trusted, India is chosen not just to build, but to lead.
Thank you, team. So this was our contribution. This was our view on on accredited in India, in Bharat, and accepted by the world. Moving ahead, it's my pleasure to introduce and invite our next speaker, Shri Vijay Sharma, Director Jindal Steels. Shri Sharma brings over 35 years of experience across corporate affairs, sales, marketing, business development, and supply chain management in the stainless steel and automotive industries, with exposure to more than 50 countries. He also serves on the board of Indian Iron and Steel Skill Sector Council, Shalimar Paints and Jindal Lifestyle, and is the chairman of the Haryana State Development Council of SOCHM. A sought-after speaker, his views are regularly published in leading industry publications. So please.
Namaskar, good morning. Sincere compliments, DPIIT, QCI, NABL, NABCB, and all the distinguished participants. And big thanks for the opportunity to share my business perspective and experiences. Well, I'm not a domain expert, but I bring on the table my experience of meeting and learning from various stakeholders by visiting more than 50 plus countries. And we at Jindal Stainless has been exporting for more than 25 years to over 60 countries, which includes some of the most demanding developed economies. Well, sir, the theme innovation, trust, and sustainability, the power of accreditation could not be more relevant. Like the nation, we are aspiring to become a global manufacturing hub, signing landmark FTAs, integrating deeper into global supply chains, and becoming a preferred manufacturing partner. We as business entities also have very similar aspirations. To me, this theme is extremely critical for the aspirations. These are not independent words, but integrated pillars. I believe that innovation without trust, it can create big market resistance. Trust without sustainability, the big reputational risk, brand. Even Bhatia sir also talked about the brand, and of course, the sustainability without a credited evidence is merely aspirations. I believe that accreditation converts aspirations into credibility. Credibility, I think it's a very big topic. It is equal to the national competitiveness. Traditionally, we have been trying to compete on cost, scale, productivity, market access. But I believe that today a fifth factor is equally important. That is credibility. Our global customers, and they are really good customers, they are not only asking, can you manufacture? They are asking, can you prove compliance? Can you demonstrate traceability? Can you verify sustainability claims? Can you assure product integrity? Can your certifications be trusted internationally? Fortunately, we have answered to these questions, and big thanks to QCI and Accreditation. I believe that just like India's economic rise has been supported by major national infrastructures, whether highways, ports, logistics networks, power systems, digital public infrastructure, we must look accreditation through the same lens. It is the trust infrastructure. It moves the trust across borders and without even the translation losses. We have experienced that once tested here, it is accepted everywhere. It has enabled us to build confidence with buyers, regulations, and consumers, and it is my personal experience. And in fact, it has also reduced transaction cost, lowered uncertainty, and accelerated the market access. The market realities we are observing have changed. There are new determinants: product conformity, technical regulations, carbon disclosures, sustainability verifications, supply chain transparency, product traceability, and many more. Here, accreditation becomes indispensable, and it is helping us. It becomes more relevant as we sign the FTAs with major economies. I believe we should not be limited to made in India. We should be made in India and also trusted by the world. This is our experience that a globally accepted test report, it reduces duplication. A globally recognized reduces delays and shortens regulatory approvals cycles, and a trusted conformity assessment system reduces uncertainty. To us, it is not a cost but an investment. In fact, it often pays for itself through the very first shipment itself. The trust travels globally through accreditation, whereas the product travels physically. Sustainability is a buzzword, but somehow I feel that it gets narrowly related with the carbon neutrality. I don't think that. I believe that it rests on three pillars: people friendliness, planet friendliness, and of course, the prosperity. And the relevance becomes even greater. Our customers are increasingly seeking evidence on carbon footprint, recycle content, resource efficiency, supply chain integrity, environmental performance, and many more. But we are better prepared because of the quality infrastructure. And to us, the quality is not limited to product attributes. It is a whole gamut of processes, systems, digitalization, and repetitiveness. And accredited evidence is differentiating us among other manufacturers globally. I would like to share a little bit of manufacturing perspective. I represent stainless steel industry in the country and proud to say that we are in nuclear application and a little bit in even Chandrayaan also. When we supply stainless steel to various applications, the most common being kitchen, railway, chemical, and nuclear, and so on, the customer is not simply purchasing our stainless steel. It is purchasing the confidence. Confidence that chemistry is correct, mechanical properties are verified, corrosion resistance is proven, testing has been carried out competently and impartially, and many more. Our promise cannot be merely claimed, it must be proven, and accreditation is how we prove it. The product and the confidence in that product is traveling together. We have certain examples to establish my confidence, my experience. Quality infrastructure is a strategic capability for us rather than a compliance obligation. All our laboratories are NABL accredited, and we get a great support through this by getting our products accepted not only in domestic and in various international markets. We deeply appreciate its recognition across more than 100 countries. I am very proud to share that Singh Saab also mentioned about Make in India brand. We were the pioneer private sector stainless steel company to be chosen to partner with QCI and Ministry of Steel and other stakeholders during the pilot implementation of the Made in India branding scheme. We learned a lot, thankful, Initiative was about strengthening trust, enabling traceability, authenticating products through digital QR-based systems, and creating confidence. We are fully supportive of national quality ecosystem, specifically BIS-led quality systems and quality control orders. There is a little bit of a challenge also. The product what we make by a large company like ours is not the product what a consumer uses or experiences. Uses means, simple example, Bartan. Experience means going into a metro, going to railway station. There is a huge ecosystem between a company like us and the consumer. That ecosystem is primarily consists of MSMEs. We are trying our bit to upgrade them, to upskill them through technical skills, soft skills, and entrepreneurship skills. And in fact, we have applied for the awarding body accreditation through NCVAT. But I believe that the quality infrastructure, including processes systems, should be broad based, and inclusion of these MSMEs a little more focus, whether the testing infrastructure across manufacturing clusters or going beyond the product quality, it can really add. I would like to give a big applause to QCI for articulating such an inspiring vision to position India among the world's strongest accreditation ecosystems and make every India export certified in India and trusted by the world. This vision deserves national attention, and we are committed. We are with it. In the end, I would like to conclude. I believe that accreditation is a silent force multiplier behind innovation, trust, and sustainability. We must increasingly view it as a national competitiveness and strategic sovereignty instrument, not as a merely quality tool. From my experience, one lesson stands out above all others: quality is not what you claim, quality is what you can prove, and accreditation is how India proves it. I believe that every product should not only be made in India, but it should also be well certified in India and also trusted by the world. Sir, we are committed. Dhanyavad. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir. Really appreciate you emphasizing quality through the confidence through quality and accreditation. Thanks a lot. Now, I have the pleasure of inviting our next speaker, Dr. Seema Shukla. She is Executive Director, India Region at TIC Council. Dr. Shukla holds a postgraduate degree in Agricultural Engineering, Food Biotechnology, and a PhD in Management from IIT Delhi. And she brings over 23 years of experience in conformity assessment, policy, regulations, and standards at national and international levels. As Executive Director at TIC Council, she leads advocacy and engagement strategies to strengthen India's quality infrastructure, regulatory frameworks, and global trade competitiveness. Prior to TIC Council, Dr. Shukla has served at Export Inspection Council, and she has engaged with the bodies such as EU, US FDA, CFIA, and contributed to SPS, TBT, and trade matters at WTO. She has also worked as an independent consultant on EU, ADB, World Bank, WHO, and QCI projects, an alumna of the US Department of State's International Visitor Leadership Program on Food Safety System. She is a recognized voice in shaping food safety policy and capacity building initiatives globally. Over to you, Dr. Seema.
Thank you so much, Dr. Eti, for the introduction. Good morning, everyone, and many congratulations to QCI, NABL, and NABCB, and all the conformity assessment ecosystem players on this World Accreditation Day. Today, I would start with a question. When an Indian manufacturer tests a product in Delhi or Pune, why does that same product needs to be tested again for the same parameters to enter to any other country, any other destination like EU? And even more to satisfy a different Indian regulator. So do we see a gap in our quality infrastructure? Can we close this gap? I have heard the previous speakers, and we know that India is building a world-class manufacturing systems. But Make in India becomes Make for the World only when a test certificate issued here is trusted everywhere. That is what the accreditation does it. It converts a lab results into a globally credible signal. Here's a number worth pausing on before I, talk about the changes and the reforms. India's national accreditation system operating under the Quality Council of India ranks 5th globally according to the Global Quality Infrastructure Index. And additionally, India's overall QI system is ranked 10th in the world. We are not starting from a scratch. We are starting from the strength which has been built by our, the team of QCI, by the tech ecosystem, for years together. The question here is, are we making full use of the strength which we have? I think no. And today I want to talk about what it will take to get there. Can we go to the next slide? In this era of a rapid change and growing uncertainty, safety, quality, and trust have been, there's no more importance from the all these three, words: safety, quality, and trust. Today, an Indian exporter can test product for BIS and then again for FSSAI, then for TEC or, whatever regulator, and then another buyer. 3 tests, same products, probably the same parameters, but different regulators, different geographies, they do not recognize each other's results. This is, I think Dr. R.P. Singh sir pointed out about the NTMs, non-tariff measures, which are they are creating lot of hurdles. I think it is more than a quality problem. It is a system design problem. And Tech Council India would like to recommend the 4 key reforms and which we can together address as a conformity assessment ecosystem for the accreditation, the testing, and the industry. We should recognize the accredit private tech bodies across the regulators. A single NABL or NABCB accredited test report or a certificate should be accepted by any or all regulators, whether it's BIS, FSSAI, DGFT, Bureau of Energy Efficiencies, or any regulator without retesting. Once accredited, once trusted, that should be the core principle. The precedent already exists. For example, in the drones and medical devices, India already leverages the accredited private third-party certification bodies. We need to scale that model across sectors like electronics, food, chemicals, in case we need to be an export competitive market. We need to harmonize our qualification standards for all conformity assessment bodies. Mutual recognition starts at home. If the qualification criteria differ between, public or private laboratories, regulators have no common baselines to reference these results. Uniform ISO IEC-based criteria remove the basis for redundant retesting. Harmonization needs to extend beyond borders. The harmonized domestic standards build more trust beyond the geography of India. So it becomes a prerequisite for the mutual recognition, whether it is with EU, US, APAC, or any other countries. MRAs should focus on tested in India, becomes accepted in any part of the world, maybe Frankfurt or maybe Sydney. The third reform, eliminate redundant testing. Test once, use everywhere. Indian exporters, they must not test the same product multiple times at the domestic or export trend, because each test adds up to the cost of the product. It eats up the time, and it also leads to the administrative burdens, and which is a hindrance to be competitive in this global value chain. We need to be fast, we need to be cost effective, and we need to ensure that anything which is not required is simply removed. Any India-specific deviations or any country-specific deviations can be tested, and we call it as incremental testing, and duplicity can be simply avoided. So everything else should flow from the single accredited report. That should be the regulatory design principle and not just an aspiration. The fourth one, which I would like to point out over here, is build a public-private testing capacity to serve export markets. India's lab network should be capable of issuing the test reports that a foreign regulator quickly accepts. We follow ISO 17025 based accreditation. We have international recognition. NABL is a part of Global Accreditation Corporation. So combining the private, public laboratories, government infrastructure, I think that that will lead us to the set target of 2 trillion export economy by 2030. Meeting that target requires testing certifications and certification infrastructure that scales with ambition, and public-private partnership can lead both to the speed as well as to the credibility. Next slide, please. The next slide, actually, I wanted to show to you that our path to the developed economy starts with the global the importance of this conformity assessment ecosystem. If you see, the total TIC business is around globally is around 210 to 230 billion euros. Of that, 55% is currently outsourced to the independent third-party providers. When I say independent third-party providers, what is very important is that they are accredited third private TIC bodies, and that's what TIC Council represents. Geographically, if you see, EU accounts for almost 33%, in North America, or almost 30%. These are the two developed economies, and the amount of the work which is carried out by the independent accredited TIC bodies is huge. If I look into the China is 90%, 19%, and if I look into APAC, complete is around 3%. And this is where we India is also represented. So we can clearly say that we are underrepresented relative to our manufacturing scale, relative to our aspirations. This is both gap as well as an opportunity. So every end user sector on this chart, from life sciences to consumer goods to automotives, depends on the TIC testings and certifications to trade internationally. When India builds accreditation infrastructure that foreign buyers trust, every one of these sectors becomes an export opportunity. The TIC Council India network is actively working with India's regulatory ecosystem to help Indian manufacturers tap into every one of these markets, starting with the test reports that crosses border. Next slide, please. I would like to take a minute to brief you about TIC Council. TIC Council is a global voice of testing, inspection, and certification industry with more than 120 member companies across 160 countries, maybe representing 10,000 laboratories or more. Our India chapter is embedded in the regulatory ecosystem. We work actively with Quality Council of India, the boards of NABL, NABCB, work closely with BIS. We have the MOU. We work closely with FSSAI, GPIIT, MITI, QCI, and SEBI, and more. We are born out of the need for trust and accountability in increasingly complex industrial environment, and our sector laid down the foundation of what become the global standard for risk mitigation. We are established by the industry for the industry, and the TIC sector acts as a collaborative force that strengthens business resilience. Every day, the TIC sector works behind the scene to ensure that the life runs safely and smoothly. From the food we eat to the buildings we enter, the lifts, the toys, or our children play with having some technologies, the WebEx platforms which we are using to talk to you, thousands of people today. The TIC sector plays a vital role in protecting people data, and supporting progress. You don't see us, but we have got your back. What we need now is a regulatory architecture to make Indian tech sector as credible as a port in Hamburg as they are in Mumbai. We do have institutions. We do have expertise. We can push in tested once, accepted widely. And this is not just a slogan. It is a policy choice. And it is a choice that will determine whether Indian manufacturers compete for premium global contracts or keep paying the price of duplicate compliances. Tech Council India is here to advocate for that choice with data, with industry voice, and with the international credibility of network that spans the world. I would like to close with the statement that tech enables more fluent global trade and access to the markets, boosting competitiveness. And we work jointly with a very strong accreditation backup. I would like to once again congratulate Quality Council of India and all the conformity assessment players on the World Accreditation Day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Seema, for a very engaging presentation and your valuable contributions to today's discussions. May I now request Dr. Api Singh to summarize the takeaways and conclude the session.
I'm
You're
happy
muted.
that both.
It's okay, fine. No, it's okay.
Yeah. I'm happy that this particular session has brought out two of the stalwarts in the Indian industry, which has actually given a lot of fillip to our export potential. Vijay Sharma ji, in fact, from the steel industry, and as I said, that steel industry is the pioneer which has actually helped us test the Made in India brand that we wanted to accomplish about a couple of years ago. The TIC industry is actually a very vibrant industry, and Seema has given entire background of what the TIC industry is doing in India and how it can scale up and help the export potential.
Hello.
And therefore, I'm pretty sure that all this deliberation will help us in defining what we need to do in the coming year in order to increase India's competitive advantage in the export market. Thank you all once again, and I'm happy that you have found time to actually help us in this deliberation and discussion. Thank you, Seema. Thank you, Vijay. Thank you. Namaskar.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks a lot. So now, building on the discussion so far, let us move to the next session on ease of doing business through compliance, standards, and regulatory convergence. To provide some opening perspective to this session, it gives me great pleasure to invite Dr. Sandeep Shah, Chairperson NABL. Dr. Shah is a gold medalist in MD Pathology from BJ Medical College, Ahmedabad. Drawing on more than 35 years of experience, he offers expertise in pathology, molecular biology, and transplant immunology. He is the Joint Managing Director at Newberg Diagnostics and the founder of Newberg's Supratech Reference Laboratories. During the pandemic, he conceptualized and launched India's first drive-through COVID testing facility, a pioneering public health intervention that conducted over 3,500 tests at a single site. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Sandeep Shah. Please, sir.
Good morning, and I welcome basically this whole World Accreditation Day on the behalf of the NABL, Mr. Kannan, from Secretary General for the QCI, and also on the behalf of our team. I want to open this session by naming the problem precisely, because ease of doing business in quality compliance is often framed as a framework, paperwork problem, or a speed problem. But it is neither. I believe that it is a system design problem. Consider a mid-sized food processing manufacturer. To operate, export, and sell through organized retail, They need a FSSAI license, BIS certification for select product line, APEDA registration for the export eligibility, export inspection, clearance, and the test reports from their buyer nominated laboratory. Each requires separate documentation, separate fees, and separate timelines. And here is what makes it a system problem rather than an administrative inconvenience. In most cases, the same product attribute, its safety, its composition, its conformity of standards is being tested and retested independently by each authority. The product is not changed. The standard has not changed. Only the authority requesting the test has changed. This duplication is not a feature. It is a legacy of a regulatory architecture built incrementally, one authority at a time, without a shared quality infrastructure underneath it. NABL accredited testing is that what shared infrastructure, I believe. And the question this session addresses is how we make it recognize reference trace for every authority rather than the starting point of a new one. India today has over 10,000 NABL accredited laboratories, a figure that did not exist a decade ago when the NABL started. The laboratories test to ISO IEC 17025, the global standard for the laboratory competence, and their reports are accepted through that GACI, basically, mutual recognition arrangement in over 100 countries. India's testing infrastructure has scaled significantly, but the distribution of that infrastructure is uneven. It is concentrated in industrial metros and the state capitals. In the manufacturing clusters like Kanpur, Ludhiana, Coimbatore, or Panipat, where the majority of the Indian MSME operates, the nearest NABL accredited laboratory can be a day's journey away. Sample turnaround times exceeds than 10 days. Per test cost makes systematically quality testing commercially unviable for the small manufacturers. The consequence is predictable. MSME either skips systematic testing and face rejection at buyer audits or export checkpoints, or they test once and present the same report across the multiple compliance requirements, hoping each authority accepts it. Sometimes they do, often they do not. The problem is not MSME willingness to comply. It is a system failure to make compliance rational. Quality testing cannot be a luxury geography. NABL working with the DPIT, the Ministry of MSME, and the Cluster Association, it is actively working to expand NABL accredited laboratory infrastructure into the manufacturing clusters where it does not yet exist. The MSME that cannot access an accredited test in time and at a reasonable cost is a MSME that cannot compete, not because it cannot manufacture, but because it cannot prove it. So that's basically embedding NABL accreditation in MSME support programs, all this. The Z, Zero Defect, Zero Effect scheme, jointly administered by the QCI and the Ministry of MSME, directly links NABL accredited testing and NABCB accredited certification to financial support for MSMEs. This is a right design, quality infrastructure investment with the government backing, and making accreditation affordable for the enterprises that need it most can at least afford it alone. The Ministry of MSME engagement in this session through Sri Vinamra Mishra, Joint Secretary, reflects a sad understanding. Ease of doing a business in quality compliance is not a technical problem to be solved by the accreditation body alone. It requires coordinated action by government, standard bodies, and the accreditation system. Today's session is an opportunity to advance that coordination, and I simply say that please stay away from unnecessarily fraudulent activity to achieve this idea. So NABL is fully digital accreditation platform now. What the NABL has also done for the same. That is, the online application is allowed. Remote documentation review is also available. Digital certificates, and has reduced the time, cost, and administrative burden of the accreditation process for the laboratory. NABL is also going to stake on with the help of the QCI to support all the other who wants to go for this accreditation will have a ready available help from quality NABQP. That also we are going to launch it immediately. So digital self-assessment tools also allow the laboratory to evaluate the readiness before the formal application, improving the first application success rate and shortening the path to accreditation, making the accreditation pathway itself easier to navigate is part of the ease of doing business agenda. Today's session brings together representatives from the Ministry of MSME, CII, and the CSIR NPL, the government body, the industry voice, and the National Measurement Institute. The question before them are the ones that determine whether regulatory convergence move from the ambition to the architecture. For MSME growing from domestic suppliers to the export-ready manufacturer, what is the most practical role accreditation can play at each stage of their journey? What are the 2 or 3 most critical EODB enables that remain unaddressed? And how can accreditation serve as a single quality pillar for domestic manufacturing, not as a one for more credential in a fragmented compliance state, but as the shared foundation that makes the whole system more coherent? These are the exactly questions India's quality infrastructure needs answer right now. I look forward to the conversation further ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks for sharing the current scenario of the quality ecosystem, the challenges and the actions required. With your permission, I have the privilege of inviting Shri Vinamra Mishra, Joint Secretary, Ministry of MSME, for a special address. Shri Mishra is a 2003 batch officer of the Indian Railway Service of Mechanical Engineers. He has anchored externally aided program worth USD 8 billion in partnership with the World Bank, ADB, KfW, AIIB, NDB, UNIDO, and GIZ, all directed at strengthening the competitiveness of India's MSMEs. He has also served as nodal officer for several flagship initiatives of the ministry, including the Zero Defect, Zero Effect Scheme, Digital MSME, and the Lean Manufacturing Program. Please, sir, I request you for the special address.
Good morning, everyone. I hope I'm audible. Can anyone confirm if I'm audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Respected Shri Kannan, Chairman QCI, Dr. Shukla, Head of the NABL, officers from CSIR, and the other officials who are participating in this panel today, MSMEs and industrial associations who are part of this meeting. I first of all thank every one of you for having me here in this session, and congratulate all of you for on the auspicious day of World Accreditation Day 2026. And the fact that today we are discussing how accreditation can lead to EODB is something which is very pertinent to be discussed by all of us, and something which the crying need for the MSMEs in the entire MSME ecosystem. Obviously, with the Power Pack panel that we have today, I'm sure there'll be a lot of takeaways for every one of us. And while even the government of India is also on the anvil of on the transition from the 15 financial cycle to the 16 financial cycle, so there's a lot of ideation and thinking, and we are going back to the drawing board to increase the impact of the various schemes that we are running. So obviously today's discussion is going to go a long way in deciding our drawing board, in setting the markers on our drawing board in terms of including the horizontal and the vertical scope of our schemes, and how it can be made more impactful, and how these can serve the nation and the MSMEs in a better way. So thank you for having me today.
I would always start with the fact that MSMEs are the growth drivers of the country. That is something that we cannot deny, and this is something which has to be the underlying statement whenever we plan or policy or do the policing about anything, about any program or the scheme. With the numbers swelling up to 8.3 crores, with the contribution into exports up to more than 45%, contribution into manufacturing GVO more than 37%, and we are looking at about more than 34 crore people employed in the MSME sector. We are really looking at a sector which without which the idea of Viksit Bharat cannot be envisaged, and it will be on the back of these MSMEs that the India can progress up to a developed nation. And let me also put it this way, that no developed country is a developed country without a developed MSME ecosystem. So that said, we are really looking for the MSMEs to respond and work in tandem with all of us, where industry or the government or the academia is working. The MSMEs should be at the center of all the ideation and policy. Uh, QCI has been doing a human service as far as the Ministry of MSME and the MSME sector is concerned. We've seen the transition of how the Z program and the lean programs. Just so we've seen how, with a lot of due diligence and lot of efforts, we've put Z on the roadmap of quality awareness and quality ecosystem in the country. It was in 2014 when Honorable Prime Minister from the premise of the Red Fort gave the clarion call to all of us to create a system of quality for the MSMEs having zero effect on the environment, and hence Z came into being. And from 2022 to 2026, now we've seen an overwhelming response, almost a paradigm shift as far as this is concerned. And we've seen that the Z certification has become synonymous with the quality of processes and zero effect on the environment. With more than 8 lakh MSMEs already registered and more than 6.5 lakhs already certified, this has never been, envisaged when we set out initially. When Dr. Shukla and his team initially set out on this journey of Z, it was never envisaged that we are going to see these numbers clearly showing that the MSMEs have found value in this program, and Quality Council of India has really done remarkably well as far as putting the Z program in the various nooks and corners of this country. While we are today discussing the EODB aspect of accreditation, this is the so just a minute. So yeah. So now is the time when we have to really do some soul searching as to how the Z certification, as far as, while the intrinsic program, which really focuses on zero defect in the process and zero effect on the environment, has done very well. How the MSMEs who have gone through the journey of the MSME of the quality certification can be benefited from the Z certification, and how that can be leveraged into various EADB parameters, is something that we need to really ideate upon and really think. What comes immediately into the mind is the fact that the first thing that we already have in place is the fact that this entire Z certification is pretty much on the DigiLocker. So that is something which is which just a minute, I am receiving a few calls. Just give me a minute and then I'll come back.
In the meanwhile, we are just opening the chat. So if anyone has any question, you can just type it in the chat box and we will take the questions. Thank you.
It can be more suggestions on how to make the Indian quality infrastructure stronger. It doesn't need to be any query related to the current. What are any ideas, how you can contribute to making Indian ecosystem stronger? So whoever has any suggestion can type your suggestion in the chat box.
So I think.
So I'm very,
Yes,
very
sir.
sorry. I had a call from additional secretary. I had to explain a few things. So I was telling that how now the Z certification, having achieved that synonym or uh, or a status of quality in the country, how the certification can now be leveraged for the various EODB parameters. And the first thing that I told is the fact that it is already on DigiLocker, so the validation and the verification of the Z certification is already there. So any agency which then wants to leverage it is something, the fact that it is already on the DigiLocker, so the veracity of the certification is never in question. That is one. Now we had extensive discussion in the DPIIT and how Z can be given this more teeth with various EODB parameters also included into it. The first thing which comes into mind is the vendor assessment, which can be waived off for Z silver and gold certified MSMEs. We always we have such a rigorous conformity of various parameters in the Z gold and silver certifications, that it is much more than the vendor verification that is done at the by the GEM and the vendor assessment stage. So we are in active talks with DPIT to waive off the vendor assessment for the Z silver and gold MSMEs. Similarly, with the quality checks already in place and zero effect on the environment parameters already confirmed for rigorously for the Z silver and gold MSMEs, we can also have some waivers of verification on the CPCB. So that is something which is again something that we have already been has written to the CPCB, and they are in active consideration of this fact that the Z silver and gold MSMEs would not be required to go through the entire rigor of verification and rating, and they would be given some benefit as far as the rating is concerned from the CPCB. And then with these Z certification already there, and as I said, conforming to the various zero defect and zero effect parameters, we can always have some benefits for the MSMEs, Z certified MSMEs in the ODOP projects, in the SEZs, where these can be supported with more visibility and support for the exports. There are a lot of marketing initiatives and export promotion councils programs which are there. So the Z certified MSMEs can be again given some benefit as far as that is concerned. This is going to open a huge market as far as exports are concerned, and internally also, if we are looking at various initiatives of both DPIIT, Ministry of Commerce, as well as the ministry's own programs of procurement and marketing scheme and the international cooperation schemes. There, the MSMEs have already got some visibility and support, financial support, as far as these schemes are concerned. So this can be, again, as I said, can be leveraged to have these the EODB parameters intrinsically inbuilt into the revised Z program that we are looking to launch in the 16th financial cycle. I would also I'm also looking at increased collaboration with NABL. Our MSMEs, whether they have to whether they have to directly go to the market with the product, or they are looking at any having a robust presence in the supply chain, they have to go for a testing. And these testing parameters are pretty much the domain of NABL and NABT. So I would think that the ministry should look at renewed and increased collaboration with NABL, that the formulations and the nitty-gritty can be talked about in detail subsequently. But that is something that I'm really looking forward to inculcate or include in the next edition of the Z program. And also we are looking at something like Z exports, where we are for the gold certified MSMEs, we are looking at having a few parameters inbuilt, so that like for example traceability, like for example increased documentation, for example customer management. So all these things can be actually built as a ZX kind of a certification, which will put the MSMEs on a nice pedestal for them to be catapulted into the export domain also. So all these things come directly into the market, into the mind, and I think when we work together, the ministry with QCI, with the industry and the academia, I'm sure we are going to help our MSMEs get a lot of support as far as the ease of doing business is concerned. And as I said initially, that today's discussion will go a long way in our policing and our decision with regards to the various parameters of EODB, which can be inbuilt in these schemes in the 16th financial cycle. So thank you very much. I'm sorry for the interruption in between, but those are the important things that we need to be done. So, but I congratulate all of you all for this on the World Accreditation Day. May this this day can bring about a lot of change as far as our outlook on ease of doing business is concerned. And I also wish QCI all the very best for a very successful and great future, and our collaboration to go from strength to strength. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate your time and valuable insights on the role of MSMEs and the collaborative efforts looking forward to. Now, I would like to invite our next speaker, Dr. Naveen Garg, Scientist G, CSIR NPL, and that is India's National Metrology Institute. And Dr. Garg has over more than 110 publications to his credit, and he was conferred the prestigious APMP Izuka Young Metrologist Prize for Developing Economies for his contributions to acoustics and vibration metrology. And his work with CPCB, ASI, and Delhi and Bangalore Metro Rail Corporation has helped shape the India's environmental noise assessment framework. Over to you, Dr. Garg.
Thank you, ma'am. I hope I am audible.
Sir.
Yeah. So could you please? Thank you very much. So I would really thank NABL and QCI for giving me an opportunity to talk today about the topic of ease of doing business. And I would congratulate NABL and QCI team for their organizing this webinar on this auspicious occasion of World Accreditation Day 2026. So indeed, the efforts of QCI and NABL are really remarkable, as revealed by the previous speakers, eminent speakers also. And today I'll be talking on a very important topic of ease of doing business, where I'll be discussing briefly about the NMI perspective. So everybody knows that CSIR, National Physical Laboratory, by the Act of the Parliament, is the National Metrology Institute of the country. So I will be discussing briefly about some of the perspectives of NMI, which are very important for ease of doing business. So let me just recapitulate what NMI role is there, and then I will come to the main agenda of how NMI can facilitate the ease of doing business. So everybody of us knows about the CIPM MRA significance, which is basically by the General Conference on Weights and Measures. And this mutual recognition agreement MRA is an agreement developed under the authority of CIPM to ensure that all the national measurement standards and calibration certificates from different NMIs are internationally recognized and comparable. So at CSR NPL also we are working, and our efforts are in progress, and we are continuously working on developing these international recognizable standards to enable the international trade, commerce, regulatory affairs by providing a secure technical foundation for these agreements, particularly involving the measurements. So can you please switch to the next slide? So there are currently 64 member states and 37 associate states and economies in for CIPM MRA, and India, the Republic of India, became the member state on 11 January 1957. Currently, CSR NPL is the NMI of the country, and there are certain designated institutes like BARC for ionizing radiation, and recently National Institute of Ocean Technology has been included as a DI in the field of underwater caustics parameter, and they have a very wide frequency range from 1 kilohertz to 500 kilohertz, and this they have been included from 30th January 2024. So everybody of us knows that CSIR NPL has been given the mandate of maintaining the national standards, and by the act of the parliament, by gazette notification, it is the National Metrology Institute. So next slide, please. Can you switch to the so it is having the mandate to develop and maintain the Indian national measurement standards that are internationally accepted, and has the responsibility to disseminate these measurement capabilities to all the industry, strategic partners and academia, and we maintain the international equivalence of our measurements through participation in various key comparison exercises with other NMIs, so that our measurements are internationally accepted. Next slide, please. So the main charter of CSR NPL is to establish, maintain, and improve constantly by research for the benefit of the nation, the national measurement standards, and to realize the fundamental units of measurement based on the international system of units, which is called the SI units, to identify and conduct, after due consideration, research in the areas of physics which are most appropriate to the needs of the nation and for the advancement of the field, to assess industries, national and other agencies in their development tasks by precision measurements, calibration, development of devices, processes, and other allied problem related to the physics. Next slide. So we have 6 main divisions at CSR NPL which are catering to all these needs. So first division is the physico-mechanical metrology division, where we are looking particularly for the physico-mechanical standards like length, mass, temperature, humidity, pressure, vacuum, acoustics, ultrasonics, fluid flow, etc. Then we have electrical and electronics metrology division, where we are working on the electrical standards. Then we have a separate division, environmental and biomedical metrology, where we are focused on the environmental standards and particularly the biomedical equipments. Materials and device metrology division, where we are focused on advanced materials, carbon materials, and other material metrology. Then we have a Bharatiya Nirdeshak Dravya division, which is looking after the certified reference materials, and we call them the BNDs, the Bharatiya Nirdeshak Dravya, and Indian Standard Time Metrology, which is looking after the Indian time. So these all divisions coordinate with the academia, with the industry, with all the strategic partners to establish the traceability in the country, to strengthen the traceability chain. So if so you can see this 3D pyramid that is there at CSR NPL, which shows the traceability chain that is disseminated to the industry through the unbroken chain of measurements in the quality. Next slide, please. So CSR NPL as a NMI work in coordination with all our accreditation bodies and standards, legal methodology, so that the quality infrastructure in the country gets strengthened, and all the measurements and other capabilities, these are traceable to the national standard, so that we can facilitate the ease of doing business. Next slide. So when it comes to ease of doing business and NMI perspective, so we are governed with a very important task. Like first thing is we have to ensure that measurement traceability is there. So we have to continuously focus on maintaining the national primary standards and then secondary standard and disseminate these standards to the for disseminating traceability. Then calibrations and testing services to all the stakeholders, including industry, academia, and other partners. Then testing and certification support, particularly like for the reference materials, for accredited labs, and product testing and certification also. Then regulatory support, scientific support to all the regulators like legal methodology, standard and measurement protocols that also we are involved in development of those, and consistent and transparent enforcement of these standards by all the regulatory bodies. Then innovation and R&D plays an important role, particularly for developing the new measurement standards and for developing the quantum based standards, where we have to realize the SI units. Then international recognition of these standards is very important, and that's why we go for the participation in BIPM CIPM comparisons with other NMIs, so that we can maintain our CMCs. We can put our more and more CMCs in key comparison database of CSR and of BIPM, and we get the global acceptance of our measurement results. So ultimately, it is supporting the national priorities like manufacturing competitiveness, their environmental sustainability, healthcare industry, the digital economy, energy security, and serving the purpose of the government of India initiatives like Atmanirbhar Bharat and Make in India. And it is also supporting the export growth and global integration. Next slide, please. So these are the key contributions of any NMI. So first thing, as I discussed, is the measurement traceability, and it has impact on is ease of doing business and reducing the disputes in trade and commerce, enhancing confidence in the product specifications, facilitate acceptance of the test results, not only nationally but also internationally also. Then the calibration services that are being provided, these improve the product quality, these reduce the downtime and rework, and support the compliance with the quality management systems like ISO 17025 and ISO 9001. Next slide, please. Yeah, the testing and certification support has a key role. So it reduces the technical trade barriers, facilitates market access for domestic products, enhances the export competitiveness, and it has a very important trivial role in the regulatory support also. It simplifies the regulatory compliance, improves transparency and consistency in the enforcement of the regulations, reduces compliance costs for the industries. Next slide. The innovation and R&D support is a very important role here. It plays a very important role in accelerating the and commercializing of all the innovations via technology transfers, product developments. It strengthens the startup ecosystems in the country and enhances the technological self-reliance of the country. Next slide. So when it comes to supporting the national missions, so we have a very important role and wide in various the national missions we are supporting, like Atmanirbhar Bharat, the Make in India concept, the Digital India Sustainable Development Goals. We are also working on Skill India, Healthy India, and other key missions of the government India, where we are trying to provide our services and we are trying to develop new measurement standards and products which are not only nationally acceptable, but they have a global international acceptance also. Next slide. But there are certain areas where we are consistently trying to improve ourselves. We are focused on various key agendas like developing the digital calibration and certification platforms. That is a key area where we have to focus, and we are currently working on these areas. Then establishing the regional methodology centers in association with the legal methodology, and strengthening the industry NMI partnership. That is a very important role, because ultimately the product has to be used to the end users, and industry plays a key role here. So via technology transfers, we are supporting the industry to develop some technologies which can be used by, which can be fabricated and developed on a larger scale, which can be used by the end users. Enhance support for the new startups and particularly the MSMEs. Then promote international harmonization of all our standards and measurement facilities, and introduce the fast track calibration and testing services, so that customers do not have to wait, and they are provided with the speedy calibration services. Integrate methodology with the national quality infrastructure, which is a very important role. And here all these pillars of the quality infrastructure like NABL, QCI, legal methodology, Bureau of Indian Standards. We have to work in coordination with all these bodies so that we can strengthen the national quality infrastructure of the country. Next slide, please. So if I summarize, so CSI and NPL being the backbone of the Indian measurement ecosystem, and we are continuously focused on working towards reliable, accurate, and precise measurements. So NMI facilitates the ease of doing business through the trusted measurements, driving the quality, innovation, and industrial competitiveness. We promote the international harmonization of standards and recognition of all our Indian measurement capabilities, and thereby strengthening the national measurement quality infrastructure of the country. We are empowering the startups, MSMEs, and advanced manufacturing, and contribute to the various missions of the government of India like Atmanirbhar Bharat, Make in India, Digital India, Sustainable Development Initiatives. And our prime focus is to reduce the uncertainty in the measurements, enhancing confidence, and ensuring compliance, accelerating that leads to the accelerating economic growth through the methodological equivalence, and which serves as the foundation for economic growth, technological advancement, and industrial excellence. So in a nutshell, I would summarize that CSI NPL measures with accuracy, assures quality, drives innovation, facilitates trade, and strengthen the India global's competitiveness. So thank you very much, and I would really appreciate NABL and QCI efforts for organizing this wonderful seminar on ease of doing business, and I hope that this will create a way forward for strengthening our quality infrastructure in the country, and for enhancing our trade perspectives, particularly developing our industries and MSMEs. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks for the brisk presentation on the role of NPL that is playing for national missions and the ease of doing business. Now, I take pleasure to invite our next speaker, Mr. Vishal Saxena, Senior Counselor and Head, Quality Metrology Standards Division, CII Institute of Quality. He is a seasoned quality and operational professional with over 2 decades of experience in manufacturing excellence, continuous improvement, and compliance frameworks. He holds an MBA and PGDM in logistics and supply chain management from NIMS. At CII, he leads the QMS division, driving awareness on product and process standardization, conformity assessment, product certification, hallmarking, and lab standards among India's MSME. Please, sir.
Thank you, madam. And I hope I am audible. Thanks for confirming. So, good morning, everyone. Secretary General QCI Kannan sir, Joint Secretary, Ministry of MSME, Mishra ji, Chairman of QCI Boards of Accreditation, their CEOs, very good morning, and thanks for the opportunity provided to CII today on talking of this important topic on ease of doing business, and my heartfelt wishes on World Accreditation Day to all of you. So I know because we have already overshoot the timing, so I will try to quickly complete my presentation. I represent CII Institute of Quality. As you all know that CII is an industry body, and with my presentation today, I would like to put up the industry voice on this topic of ease of doing business. So next slide, please. Yeah. As I heard, and all the speakers, Mishra ji, Dr. Shah, everybody talked about the compliances, simplification of compliances. We also hear that although India has simplified the compliances through several digitization platforms and schemes of government, still industry face multiple quality and conformity requirements across global markets. So what industry expect is basically simplification and harmonization of compliances and regulation. Today, for industry, ease of doing business, what we are hearing, is not about less compliances or just obtaining license. It's more about smart compliances. When I say so, means the speed of doing it and cost. Because the global buyers expect suppliers to deliver quality and competitiveness with required regulations. So as a country, we should move from inspection-based economy to assurance-based with proper regulations, competitive mindset and quality competitiveness of our products. Next slide, please. In the past, we have seen in Indian industry, which was competing globally on the basis of cost or maybe lesser labor cost, scale of production. However, with the latest trade agreements which we had with many countries and open up for global markets, now what global markets demand basically is quality, sustainability, traceability. ESG is one of the important requirement for doing business or export business, responsible sourcing and product safety. So in a nutshell, if the industry want to take the benefits of lower tariffs, so they have to meet the product quality requirements and meet the standards and conformity requirements of various countries. Next slide, please. See, predictability reduces the investment risk. And currently now the new product development cycles are shrinking. Okay, so today what company need mostly is predictability of the regulations. Okay, so that requirements are clear and stable. Harmonization means different departments, they should work in a close harmony. Speed, when I say speed, is testing of the products, approvals should be fast tracked, and once the testing is done and a report is given, that report should be globally accepted so that there is no duplicacy in the activities. Yeah, next slide. Yeah, as we also hear some of the challenges from the industries in terms of compliance standards. One of the thing is compliances are fragmented. There are multiple authorities. They have to go through multiple audits, reportings. So basically there are overlapping requirements, and this is specifically a problem for MSME industries. On the testing front also, what we hear is the infrastructure gaps. There are many industry clusters which have very limited accredited labs, and the turnaround times are longer. Logistic cost becomes huge, and awareness of standards is also, there is a big gap. So I think we have to reach out to industry, and they only especially MSME industry, they only consider standards when there are rejections or audits. Next slide, please. So very recently we also interacted focusedly with one of the sectors, footwear. As we all know that India's footwear industry is second largest almost in the world, and it's a big industry. But when it comes to doing business globally, there are global requirements in terms of restricted substance management in raw material. Safety requirements are increased. Sustainability needs disclosures have become mandatory. Supply chain traceability is important. So sectors like footwear, they are facing challenges on all these things. Okay. Yeah. Next slide. Okay. So another thing today is we are talking about regulatory convergence. So why it is important? Okay. Industry, as I said, they go into multiple inspections, multiple audits, and multiple certifications. Okay. So I think from CI perspective, the regulatory convergence is one of the opportunity which, as a country, we should look upon, because it does not mean lowering standards. Okay, it basically will provide um, lesser duplication of activities. Okay, and that is why we should strive to have one standard or one assessment kind of a situation for the industry, which will be very beneficial for them, especially for doing global business. Next slide, please. In terms of infrastructure, so we know that we have a lot of bodies in India, QCI and their accreditation boards. Then we have Bureau of Indian Standards. There are sector-specific institutions, and there is also accreditation conformity ecosystem. I think, CI Institute of Quality is also one of the institution who is working in the area of quality and competitiveness for last 3 decades. But what I see is that now it is a time that all these bodies integrate and work in a cohesive environment. Okay, so that will really bring ease of doing business and support industry. Next slide, please. This is about CI Institute of Quality and our role. Basically, our objective is very simple. We help companies to achieve compliance excellence and business excellence through our different programs. Next slide. Yeah. So today, the investors and global OEMs, they prefer sourcing from countries or organizations who can deliver quality, consistency, traceability, sustainability. Correct? So these are becoming differentiators, okay? And countries build upon quality ecosystems. So as a country, India can also build an ecosystem that can attract higher value manufacturing, better export opportunities, and increase investments. I think India is at the right juncture to deliver quality products globally. Next slide. And to do so, few of the reforms which also we heard from the industry is about the digital compliance solutions. So today we heard that already a lot of digital compliance solutions has been introduced. Then enhanced accredited and integrated testing infrastructures, reach of these testing infrastructure to the industry, and also we, if we possible, we should look upon one standard, one regulation kind of an environment. That will really help MSME clusters. Next slide. So at last, I would only like to say that India's ambition to become a global manufacturing hub requires equal focus on regulatory efficiency, and quality assurance. Every stakeholder has a role to play. So a cohesive ecosystem will serve the cause. Thank you so much. With this, I end my presentation and I am open for questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. It was indeed a very insightful message for all of us. And with this, I take pleasure to invite Mr. N. Venkateshwaran, CEO NABCB, for the closing remarks and proposing the vote of thanks. Please, sir.
Very good afternoon to everybody, and wish you all a very happy World Accreditation Day. This time 2026 theme was about innovation, trust and sustainability. I think you have heard about this through everyone. Actually, this time, as what our chairman NABCB was talking about, is about the new things about Global Accreditation Corporation Incorporated, Global ACI, after merging of ILAC and IAF. So that's the new body with 126 full members who are there onto it. So with this theme, when we were thinking about in our one QCI for doing it, in fact, our present Secretary General Kannan Saab made this particular theme into two different parts. One is about Made in India and other one is about ease of doing business. The way this innovation things, what it is coming up and growing up with this chat GPT and AI is opening. So the innovation as an accreditation body, we need to be much, much far ahead so that we are able to assess or we are able to give that kind of trust what is being expected by everyone. Now, as a conformity assessment bodies, whether it is laboratory, whether it is certification body, whether it is inspection body, or whether it is going to be a product certification body, validation verification body, like that continuously you can keep on talking about conformity assessment bodies. So your innovation part on the way what you are doing also is very, very important. And now assessing those things and giving a trust to the public becomes more important for us as an accreditation body is concerned. Then sustaining it continuously on once you got accreditation, and then how that gets continued for the public so that the public's trust depends on us on a continuous basis is very important. So with this, I wanted to thank, actually, first I should thank Iti for doing very good comparing this World Accreditation Day. I mean, she is doing this for a very long time. And I should thank our Secretary General and his office for making this new innovative type of World Accreditation Day celebration. I should also thank the core team who have put up efforts of making these things under the leadership of Ramanand. I mean, he could make a lot of efforts onto that. In fact, his hand is also a little bit broken of a lot of work what he has did onto this. Hope wishing him a speedy recovery onto that. I should thank all our directors from NABL and joint directors from NABL also who are present over here. I should thank NABCB team, IT team, media team, core team, everybody who have put a lot of efforts on making this happen wonderfully. Special thanks will go to our Secretary DPIT for taking out his time and then supporting QCI on making this World Accreditation Day a very big success. And all this success, whatever we are talking about, is all without the conformity assessment bodies, your participation, as what our chairman, Dr. R.P. Singh, was talking about, 1,000+ people have participated in it. And I understand that more than 200 from certification body, inspection body side also have participated onto this. That itself is a big change what is happening around, because always World Accreditation Day, only the lab community joins more. But this time I'm very happy to tell that other side also have contributed on joining the World Accreditation Day. And I should thank each one of you for making this initiative a big success onto this. And as a pillar, if you see on quality infrastructure, one is on standard side, Bureau of Indian Standard. Another one is about Metrology Institute, what was told by Naveen Garg Saab. And that also was made a very good impact. And our chairmen, Dr. R.P. Singh, NABCB chairman, as well as Dr. Sandeep Shah, chairman NABL, their contribution and they're making those particular session very interesting and wonderful. Thanks to them as well. And then speakers, really wonderfully coordinated from the beginning. Even though we couldn't get Kajal ma'am at the beginning, but then it was being aptly told about our Vishalji on Vikas on Jindal Steel, as well as the next speaker about NPL speaker, and then our speaker on CIIQ. And Dr. Shima Shukla made a wonderful thing on TIC Council, where she touched upon not only lab, on the inspection body, certification body, everything. So now everywhere, if you see, the conformity assessment body is taking over the shape. And then it comes out very well that whatever the things we are doing it, we are able to make the trust and sustainable throughout what we are able to do it. So thank you so much for everyone. I'll not take much of it on because already it is 18 minutes short. And the important takeaway for everybody, because always our Secretary General used to tell about the takeaway. I mean, what is that you have attended and what exactly you got it out of this, and spending two hours, I mean, what is that you took away? So the takeaway for here is on made in India concept, what we have made on. So now as a conformity assessment sector is concerned, now we'll have to innovate things and make things better. And at the same time on ease of doing business, the way what we have to focus on, and the customer who is going to have things from us should have a feel that, yes, we will be able to do things better. So thank you so much. Thanks a lot for everybody for joining us and making this program very successful. Thank you.